That recording. Alright, good. Looks like we got it. I was concerned that my game capture wasn't working because when I did the Halo Reach sniper spree video, I had to use monitor capture because the game capture functionality wasn't working. I don't know if it's just because OBS doesn't play nice with the Master Chief Collection or what, but no game capture for Halo. Had to be monitor capture. So I was a bit concerned Noita would be the same way. I was worried that an update broke something because my computer did just do an update for Windows, which is fucking awesome. I'm sure there's all kinds of fun new bugs that they introduced. But it appears that my game capture is working for Noita. So, here we go. Oops. Had to minimize the OBS window because, again, I don't like to have two copies of what I'm playing assaulting my eyes from two different spots. If I see it in my peripheral vision, it'll fuck me up. So, yeah, I'm in the process of buying a house, and let me tell you, it is such a blast. I got through most of it, and I'm like almost done. Like, I'm at the end where you're supposed to like get the keys and walk in your house and be all excited and start like moving your shit in and having a great time with it. But I'm not actually at that part yet because I'm waiting for my bank to do the appraisal that they, in my opinion, should have done forever ago. I had the date that I was supposed to be closing on my condo set for a couple of weeks, if not months, like a month or so. Like, I feel like I set that in May, that date. Or like they promised me that date in May, and they shouldn't have because they obviously weren't going to keep it. I guess I should have planned for this kind of chaos to occur and not scheduled anything until I was dead sure it was going to happen. But I was supposed to be off work today, and that didn't happen because I didn't get to close today. And I was like, well, if I'm not closing today, I'm not wasting a day of my paid time off to just sit around and do nothing. That's not helpful to me and not helpful to my employer. So I came in and worked today unexpectedly, even though I did tell my boss on Friday that this might happen. I didn't know that it would happen, but I was feeling like it probably would, and then it did. And I figured that would be the end of it. I'm a little miffed that my manager asked me for overtime when I wasn't even supposed to be working today because I was supposed to be off today. So I'm a little upset that she asked me to work overtime when I shouldn't have even worked at all today. Like, I feel like she should understand that I'm really pissed off that my house is still inaccessible. I was like really looking forward to getting my stuff moved in. I was really looking forward to having a garage because I just paid my parents paid $1,400 to fix my freaking car after some jackwipe ran into it and broke the headlight. $1,400 to replace the headlight. $1,400. That's $1,400 for a headlight. A small piece of the car that does not impact the car's ability to drive on its wheels. And that cost me nearly $2,000. And you might say, What the fuck headlight did you buy for that kind of money? Well, I'll tell you. It was an OEM factory one at the dealership, which, yeah, you're going to tell me I'm an idiot for not buying a third-party one. But here's the deal. I had to get it done because I need my car, and I'm buying a house. So I didn't have time to go dick around looking for headlights. You say, oh, well, just order it online, ship it, you're done. It's like, yes, sure, but then I have to worry about whether it will fit. Then I have to worry about returning it when it doesn't fit. Then I have to worry about looking for another one. And in all that time, I can't use my car because it's got a headlight that doesn't work. So that was a shitty fiasco. And now my house, I can't get in it because my bank decided they wouldn't do their job in a timely fashion. So I'm unfortunately not having a good day today. And I hate to spew all this crap on you guys. You're just here to watch me play a game. I don't really like to drag too much of my personal life into these videos. And I was kind of debating whether or not I should even do this, since I'm in such a poopy mood and have all this shit going on. But I feel bad that I haven't done anything for like the last month or more. I have not posted anything. And I know part of me makes the excuse that I can't do anything. Because my internet sucks, but I can do stuff. Sorry, I got a text. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not streaming as much, or recording, I should say, because I can't stream since my internet blows. But I haven't been recording because it's like I haven't been doing my art. I've just been sitting in bed and playing Terraria because what the fuck now? Why does he bother me after flaking on us last weekend? A little pissed at my friend Danny here because he said he would play Halo with us on Friday and then didn't show up even though we bugged him all night. So I don't know what the hell happened, and I guess I don't really honestly care since it's his fucking business. But it just seemed weird that he said he would be there and then he just decided not to show up. My buddy Tom is having a kid, and he showed up. My buddy Tom literally having a child right now, like today. And he shows up. What was Danny's excuse? I don't even know. I hope it was a damn good one. Because if Tom had said, I can't, I'm having a kid, I'd been like, yeah, no problem. See you later, Tom. But, Tom would, communicate that instead of just deciding to not show up unexplained. I guess that's... If there's one thing that anyone who knows me should understand about me is that I don't like it when people do shit without giving an explanation. I don't like unexpected surprises. Especially when they involve not showing up to a thing that we were both looking forward to. I don't know, I hope this recording of Noita is somewhat entertaining. I was debating doing an ARC recording since I played a lot of the new Crystal Isles map yesterday, and I actually had a lot of fun with it, even though I did start to get a little bored because I'm at a low level and I can't really do anything because I don't have the recipes to make stuff, which makes the game really suck when you can't like go anywhere or do anything. But I don't know, I would be doing a lot of grindy shit where I'd be just trying to build experience so that I have the required level to make the required thing so that I can make the thing. And I don't know that makes for really good YouTube. Not that this is like a million times better, but I don't know. I guess it really, I think streaming and recording and posting shit online, it really just boils down to your mood. What are you in the mood to do? And right now I'm in the mood for Noita. Just because I haven't played Noita for a while since I had Terraria 1.4 happen, and I was like, I have literally played probably about 60 hours of Terraria since that update hit. And I feel a little guilty that in that 60 hours I could have probably been doing a lot of art, a lot of streaming and recording, a lot of studying to get a better job since I hate the one I have, etc. But like this whole house buying thing has really stressed me the fuck out, and I needed some time to chill and be happier. Especially right now, since my bank is literally the reason I don't have a house when I was scheduled to have a house today. But yeah, for any of you thinking of buying a home in the future, here's a pro tip. Make sure you don't fucking schedule anything until like 3 fucking weeks after the intended closing date, because that closing date might move by like a week or more. Because your bank might be a piece of shit and not get their job done even when you turn in every single form they ask for. Even when they ask for it like a couple of days before you're supposed to be closed. Stupid motherfuckers. Because they was asking me for shit last week. During the middle of the week last week. And it's like, dude, I close in less than 7 days. Why are you asking for this shit now? I couldn't get over that. I still can't get over that. And this is from Chase. JP Morgan Chase. Giant bank. World bank. Nationwide, worldwide bank. And they couldn't get their crap together and get my stuff done in time. I have paid the down payment to the title company already. I have already spent $25,000 of down payment on this house. So I'm all in. I've been all in since last Thursday. But here we are, a full several days later, and I'm still not closing on this house I put 25 grand on that I hope I can get back if this ends up fucking failing somehow. I've never been in this position before, so I don't know how that works. I don't know if I am gonna get my money back if I don't end up getting this house somehow. My realtor guy is reassuring me over and over and over that there's no way I can get offed, that the house is like pretty much guaranteed to be mine since I paid for it already, but like a part of me doesn't believe him. Part of me is concerned that something is going to cause this whole thing to come crashing down and for me to be stuck with, I guess, $25,000 less in my bank account. which I'm sure anybody would be pissed about. But yeah, that's life. It's rough. It's like a tweet I saw about. I was just thinking about that this guy posted about how his kid identifies as being a boy, even though was born a girl, and I'm just like, it's real good of you to want your kid to be happy and support their decision to want to change to being a different gender, but I felt like, man, that's going to be a rough conversation about how your son is not going to be able to have kids one day because he's sterile. Because, he was born with a vagina and doesn't have the ability to produce sperm. So, good luck to that guy. Maybe, as far as I'm aware, I haven't done the research on it. I don't know if it's possible to go from being a man to a woman and still have kids. I personally don't think it's possible. Maybe it is. Maybe we have advanced in science enough for that to be a possibility. And awesome if that's the case. Then they won't have to have that difficult conversation about how you're going to choose between being a man over a woman when you want to be versus being a parent, because you can't now. So maybe they don't have to deal with that. I don't know. I'm thankfully not that parent. I'm thankfully not that child. I don't have to deal with those burdens. And I didn't say anything to the man on Twitter because it wasn't any of my business. I know perfectly well when to not say, even though I am now having a conversation about it on my recording for Noita, but I'm not identifying the man nor the child. So before you get your pitchforks and torches to burn my house down, know that I'm not saying the man's name or the kid or any of that. I'm not gonna spread no voodoo. I was just, saying some man and some child that I saw on Twitter had this going on, and I felt like I would conversate on it. Note that I do not judge the man nor the child for wanting to be of a different gender. I think that's fine. If that's what you want, go for it. Do whatever makes you happy. It's just, we live in a world of inconvenient truths. I kind of dopey of me to say this, but it makes me think of that anime Full Metal Alchemist, where at the beginning of every episode he talks about the fact that every action has a reaction or whatever, and you have to sacrifice in order to gain. And it's really, really dopey of me to talk about an anime when we're talking about serious stuff, but a part of that is true. The world has very unfortunate consequences for some of our actions. If I lose my cool during a phone call, I get fired. That is a very shitty consequence to something that I do and have to deal with the result of it. That has not happened, thankfully, but that's just an example. I thankfully do still have my job, even though it is being extra stressful right now and my boss is not helping. God bless her, she's doing everything she can to make it all that much worse. She's not the greatest at communicating, because we often ask for clarification on a lot of the things she announces, which again, I'm not trying to stir shit, and I'm not trying to say, hey, this is my manager's name, and here's where you can find her and tell her what I think about her. I hope she doesn't watch this, because she probably would be very mad at me if she heard my opinions of her. But I think she is a very strong woman and has a lot of strength in her. She's firm and demanding in a way that a boss should be. I will say that as much as I dislike her as a person, she is a good boss, and I don't actually think she is a bad person. I really don't have any bad blood against her personally. It is our working relationship, she is my boss, me as the employee, that I have a problem with. And I know that it's not her fault, that she's just doing her job. And really, I'm the one to be blamed for anything. Because I'm the one that's being less of a good employee. I take responsibility for anything she has to do to me. Because I do get angry sometimes, and as much as I try to be professional on my calls, I do sometimes let a little bit of my emotions bleed into the call, the tone of the call, and it makes it very unprofessional of me to do that. And I realize that she's just got to do what she's got to do to keep me from ruining our company's reputation with our customer. And I got that. I'm working on it. I'm trying to be as polite and courteous and not sound like I'm fucking bored out of my gourd, even though I am. I'm doing my best. And unfortunately my best still sucks. But I hate call center jobs, and I don't want to be a call center person. So if I have an opportunity to leave, I will. But it's got to be a good fit. I can't just leave willy-nilly. Oh, crap. I forgot that you have to have the right wand equipped first. Oh well. Wow. Well, I now have this. But, yeah, she doesn't do a great job communicating to us sometimes, and she can be a little insensitive, I think. Again, today, I didn't feel like I really wanted to even work today, but because I was supposed to have the day off since I was supposed to be closing today on my house, but obviously the closing wasn't happening, so I worked anyway. And I sent her a message, I think an email, at the beginning of my day, telling her this. But she didn't obviously know, and how could she have, since she's not telepathic, that I was really not in a good mood over being at work today. So when she asked me to work overtime, I felt a little insulted. course, how could she have known that if I didn't tell her that? But I don't know. I'm wanting people to just know what I'm thinking and know what I'm feeling and know what to say to me, when obviously how could they? And that's selfish of me, and I get it, but she usually doesn't ask me for overtime, so I was really surprised by it too. Because it was like, she'll do it every once in a blue moon, but hasn't done so in a long time, and I just didn't expect it. I kind of figured, though, that she would know I'm not closing on my house today. I'm obviously not going to be in a great mood. So why would I want to make myself even more miserable by working another 3 hours? When I get done at 5, I'm hungry, I want to be done for the day, and then it's like work another 3 hours? You kidding me? I'm starving. I'm angry. I didn't say that. I told her that I had to call the bank and I was really hungry, which I did both of those things. I did eat food and I did call the bank, so I wasn't lying to her. I don't like to lie to people. So I told her the truth, that I was hungry and I had to call the bank. Now, I called the bank and they didn't. I got a voicemail, so I ate my food, I got my bank called, and I could have worked until 8 o'clock like she wanted me to, but I figured that the damage had already been done. It already said no. I wasn't going to go back on it. Especially since I already have to have her fix my time card to show that I worked instead of having PTO. So why make that even worse by having her once again change it to show that I worked overtime after my shift ended? I don't know. I tend to overanalyze and think about a situation well after it's already done, and thinking about it any further is pointless. I also worry a lot about what my manager thinks, because she is pretty much ready to fire me at any second. So her opinion of me could very directly impact my employment at any given moment. So it's kind of important that she does not think negatively of me. So when I do something that I feel like she won't like, I tend to worry a little bit. Because, I mean, the fact that I am already on death's door of my job, and that I have gotten a little unprofessional with some of my phone calls, I then refuse requests for overtime, doesn't really bode well, I think. I'm dead. But I'm still employed. She took it okay. She said, "Thanks, Ryan." And obviously it's a chat, so I didn't have the context. I didn't hear her voice, and hear the tone of it, so I didn't know how she was feeling when she said it. So I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know if that means, thanks Ryan, you're a jerk and I hate you, or thanks Ryan, I value your input and don't care and I will see you tomorrow. Probably the second one. Because she's the kind of lady that doesn't really take anything personally, despite being insensitive. So it's weird. I don't have a lot of people I know in my life that are like that. And there is a little bit of extra tension for reasons that may not actually matter at all. Like, maybe I'm, again, overthinking, and of course I am, but one other, I don't even feel like I need to mention it, because it's honestly, recent events have made certain things a little weird. Let's just say that. I won't delve into the subject any further. Let's move on to future events. Let's talk about what's happening with the stream time. Let's talk about the YouTube channel and how we're going to move forward with this. So, anyone who maybe decided to just go ahead and dive into this video to this point without listening to it from the beginning somehow, or have not watched any of my previous streams or recordings, know that I am recording videos instead of streaming because my internet sucks and I don't have the ability to upload, or I don't have the ability to stream at an acceptable quality right now because my internet is slower than it was, and that's because my internet got more expensive and I decided to back it down to a crappier speed to keep it affordable, which sucks, but you know, that's Comcast. They're not have any competition, so they can pretty much fuck you with an ugly stick and you'll have to take it. But going forward from today, I'm still gonna do World of Final Fantasy, which I know I haven't streamed or recorded in probably over a year at this point. I just haven't felt like playing it. As much as I feel a little entitled and shitty to say, I kind of do what I want with my recordings, because I kind of just play it by how I'm feeling. Like, if I feel like playing a game, I play a game. If I feel like streaming or recording a game, I record or stream the game, etc. Because, like, that's how Vinny on Vinesauce operates when he streams. He does what he wants. Now, he'll do a game if somebody asks him to, and he feels like he wants to do it, but he usually just plays what he wants, and I respect that. And that's kind of how I'm operating my channel. So yeah, I apologize I haven't done World of Final Fantasy in a long ass time, and I feel bad about it because it's been so long, and the people that actually maybe wanted to see that get finished are like, dude, are you ever gonna play that shit? Yes, I will. I promise to not do any of that off stream. I want the whole entire game of that streamed, because it seems like a really nice game, and I feel like it deserves to have me stream it all the way through, because I specifically bought it on Steam to stream it fully. I had it on PlayStation Vita, and obviously I got rid of my Vita, so I needed to buy it again to play it anyway. But more than buying it on Steam just to have it since I had sold my Vita, I bought it again because I wanted to stream it. Because it looked like a really good stream game. It seemed like the cutscenes would be really entertaining to watch and have people see my reactions to them, and to kind of just talk about shit while I play, because I like games that I can kind of turn my brain off and just play it just to have fun while I talk, because to me that makes a way better stream than like me. The games where I'm just like sitting there silently playing and I just am so focused on what I'm doing, to me seems like the shittier, not as fun streams. So I tend to like the ones where I can do this, where I'm just playing it and I don't really concern myself with how entertaining I'm being, because I'm talking, I'm having a conversation while I'm playing. But when I'm doing a game that requires my entire focus, I don't feel like I'm being very entertaining. Maybe I'm actually being way more entertaining when I'm not yapping, because then maybe I'm doing better at the game I'm playing. But that's one of the reasons I like Vinny's streams, is that he talks while he plays. I like to hear what he has to say. I kind of enjoy listening to what he's talking about and kind of getting his perspective on the world. I guess that's kind of, since I'm such a social fucking troll and hide under my bridge all day and don't really get to see other people much and don't talk to other people much, I like to hear him talk, because it kind of fills that void of me not being social, which is probably a sign that I probably should see a therapist. But I like to view YouTube as my therapy. Let's say that. I'm one of those people that you should probably just steer clear of. Because I'm a weird freak, and I enjoy being a weird freak. I'm set in my ways. Let's put it that way. I'm one of those angry old men that shakes my fist at passersby. Become a curmudgeon, let's say. And it sucks. I hate being an old, grumpy bastard. But that's who I am now. My life has made me this way because of the terrible choices I made and the resulting shittiness that happened as a result. So, I guess not to put any pressure on any of you youngins out there, but don't make terrible life choices. They will make your life hell. In more ways than you can possibly imagine. you're really worried about how a decision will affect your life, talk to somebody else about it. Don't internalize it and then make a gut decision. That's never a good idea. You'll end up making really terrible choices and then looking back on it like, wow, I wish I had talked about this to somebody because this was a terrible choice. And what choices have I terribly made that I am referring to when I say this? Well, not really anything, necessarily. Maybe my decision to go to college for computer graphics, like I'm gonna make video games, and then realizing halfway through that that's a terrible choice, and then changing to, well, actually I didn't change to anything else. I stuck with it. I graduated and got the degree, but it was such a worthless, crappy degree that doesn't help me any way at all getting a job. So, and I did actually talk to my parents about it, but they were just like, oh yeah, go for it. Make games. You're cool. You'll do all kinds of fun shit. And they were super encouraging and happy and nice and the best parents that you could ask for, but it was one of those situations where I actually kind of wish I had had worse parents that sucked more, that told me, no, you should go to business school or be an engineer or a lawyer or something. Do something good with your life. Because that actually probably would have, like, kicked my ass enough to tell me, hey, don't do stupid shit, and I would have turned out to be a better person. I would have picked a better career path and not had to scramble to pick something real after the fact. Oh, shit. I was about to go get a drink, but then that happened. Not to say that you should always listen to your parents when they tell you that you suck and that you should do something more realistic. Because if you really have a passion for something and a drive to do a thing, you should absolutely do it. If you have a dream and you want to follow it, go for it. I just didn't have a dream. I was a lazy piece of shit that was like, I like video games, I should make video games. But see, I wasn't like driven. I had no actual drive. I had no motivation. I had no vision for how to accomplish my goal that I loosely made because I felt like it. There was zero rationality and all emotion involved in my decision for computer graphics technology as a college major. And that was probably the worst decision I could have ever made in my life. Not because computer graphics wasn't a viable career path, even though I still kind of believe that even now, but because I had no drive, I had no motivation, I had no passion. I still don't. I like video games as a hobby. They're fun, they're exciting, they entertain me, they pass the time in a way that's pleasurable, but you gotta have a real strong passion for something to make it a job. And it's not just, oh, I like this. That's not enough. If you make a career out of something you just like, you're gonna end up hating it. Ask anyone that became a game developer only to realize that they hate it and that they chose a different path after the fact, which includes me. I realized when I heard about how hard it was to be a game developer and how competitive and how shitty the working conditions are and how a lot of them have like no job for half of the year or more, like just the horror stories. And it was like, dude, that's not cool. Like, I realized very quickly that I like games, but I don't love them. I'm not so driven and bent to make video games that I'm willing to sacrifice a good, comfortable life for them. As if I learned that if you want to be in game development, you have to make a ton of sacrifices. You have to give up a stable career and stable working hours. You sometimes have to eat some dick and get paid next to nothing, starving yourself, working like 80 hours for like $2. Just really, really grueling experience. A really not good experience. But you get to make video games, yes. That you get to say that that's your job and probably enjoy what you do every day to an extent. As long as it doesn't start to annoy you, like it probably will. But yeah, it's, I don't know, I have a personal failing in that I flake on things. I get halfway through a decision and realize I don't want to do it, and then I give up on it. I can be extremely motivated and fiercely determined when I want to be. But all too often I get so unmotivated that I stop doing what I'm doing and give up on it. Like cowardice traitor. But I feel like that is a thing that everyone has in their lives to a degree. So I don't feel too bad about it. Because I'm only human. I make mistakes. I give up on things. We don't succeed at everything we try in life. And I'm okay with that. I feel like it's perfectly healthy and normal to lose motivation to do a thing and stop doing it. When that becomes a very habitual thing that happens every time you try to do anything, I feel like is when you have a problem. And that's not the case for me. I try my best to see everything through to the end that I start doing. And that's one of the reasons why you're still going to get a full World of Final Fantasy stream out of me at some point. But that game is long, and I have to be in the mood to do it. So it's gonna be a little bit before I get any further progress on it. I almost kind of wish I could stream Dragon Quest Builders 2, because that's a really fun game that has a lot of interesting variation when you play it a different way than somebody else. Like, because I watched Vinny play that game up to the point where I was, and then stopped because I didn't want to spoil anything for myself in the story. But the way he built stuff was so different, and it was really interesting to see that. So I feel like I had a missed opportunity there where I could have streamed that game. But the problem is it's on Switch. And I think it is actually on PC too, so I could have bought it for PC to stream it, but I have it on Switch, and I can't stream anything on my Switch because I don't have a capture card. And that's probably not changing anytime soon. And even when it does, I am absolutely streaming Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts fully. Probably in like back-to-back sittings with no delay between parts. Because I absolutely adore that game. And I feel like it got so much shit for not being a traditional Banjo-Kazooie game. And no one wants to play it because of that. Which is super unfair, because that game is awesome. It doesn't get enough love for as good of a game as it is. It's a fantastic game. And I will be streaming it in full when I get a capture card. Before anything else. You can be sure of that. I make it my personal YouTuber mission to make sure that game gets streamed. Or recorded and uploaded later. In my case. Because it is a fantastic game and deserves every bit of recognition I can give it. And more. Like, I don't understand the hate for that game. Like, yes, it's not your traditional Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolt. It's not your traditional Banjo-Kazooie Collect-a-thon game that people were used to seeing from the series. So it subverted expectations for a ton of people. And it pissed off people who were expecting it to be something it wasn't. But it was also a really fucking cool game. That, honestly, I don't think there's that many games out there like it. I find it to be a very unique experience that hasn't really much been replicated. Whoa! Okay. Well, that thing killed the fuck out of me. Anywho. One of the reasons I like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is how flexible and still functional it is. A game that I played similar to it, that I didn't stream or record, even though I watched Vinny play it on his stream, was Besieged. It's very similar to Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I think that the difference between those two is that there's a simplicity to Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts that really, really shines. This thing set on fire. So... Burning trail my ass. It does not do a burning trail. Well, that time it did. Now it did, okay. It does things a lot more simply than Besiege does. You still have your blocks that you place to build a cart of sorts, and it does flying things and boat things, which actually that's one of the things that Besiege doesn't have, is it doesn't have any aquatic stuff. There's no water-based activities. In fact, I don't think there's any water in Besiege to speak of at all. Whereas Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts has cars, planes, and boats. Like, it almost felt like Diddy Kong Racing, if anybody remembers what that is. I'm kind of dating myself a little bit by saying that, but a lot of people have a really strong fondness for for Diddy Kong Racing because of the fact that, unlike Mario Kart, it had planes and hovercrafts and cars, so you could do water, air, and ground. And it really mixed up the way that you raced and made those, like, I want to say like 40 courses into like a lot more. Or actually, I don't know, maybe it was less courses, but it felt like 40 because of the fact that you could do multiple courses different ways, like boats, planes, and cars. I like Diddy Kong Racing a little bit. I wasn't as avid of a fan of it as some people were, just because the like shooting mechanics, like the turtle shells in Mario Kart, are perfect. They slide along the ground and hit players with either skill or total luck. But not just like a gimme. Too many racing games just allow the thing that you fire to hit the person you shoot it at. And I felt like Diddy Kong Racing was a little guilty of that. Particularly with the missiles that are like the standard shell for Diddy Kong Racing. They just kind of fucking got you. There's nothing you could really do about it. Although some people will say, oh, well, no, they didn't lock on unless you were like within hitting range. And that's true. They weren't like a guaranteed, oh, you're going to hit whoever you fire them at. It's just that they didn't really... It didn't feel like you could ever really come back in Diddy Kong Racing when you were super far behind. They didn't have any turtle shells that went from the first to worst. They didn't have any lightning spells or rainbows or any of that. Any Starmans. And I guess some people will say, well, good, because that stuff sucks when you're doing great and some asshole comes along and unfairly plows you over. But, I don't know. I also, I guess, kind of irrationally attached more to, like, Toad and Yoshi because I liked them as characters. And I didn't really feel that level of attachment to anybody in Diddy Kong. Like, I've never really been that big of a DK fan. He's like a monkey. And Diddy Kong is a chimp, right? I didn't feel any connection to them. But yet I felt connection to a lizard and a mushroom head dude. Very rational, I know. I'm being super rational about everything I'm saying right now, which total BS, of course, but I was talking about Banjo-Kazooie, how I find it fun, and why I would think other people would enjoy it is the fact that it is a really simplistic building puzzle game where you build these cars or planes or boats or, honestly, whatever you want. Was kind of the beauty of the game, was that you could do pretty much anything your brain could think of, which is not something a lot of games can really say. Even like a Minecraft situation, there's going to be a limitation about what you can actually realistically achieve. There's going to be some things you cannot make. But in a game like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, it was like sky's the limit. And I mean, even Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts does have some limitations. There are certainly some things in the game that can't be done. But for what Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts has, it certainly has a lot of unexpected flexibility. Like, my example is maybe a little adult, but we tried to, and this is going to reveal how extremely mature me and my friends are, we tried to make a penis that, like, gyrated. Because, again, we were super mature and definitely not childish idiots. But we made a fucking gyrating dick. It was amazing to us that we could do such a thing. It seemed impossible. But we achieved it. Amazingly. Shit, this thing has such terrible accuracy. God damn it. And I'm probably burning through all of my good spell wands that I'm gonna find now. I'm just going to find terrible crap and end up going to the second floor with just this shit and lose because I can't find anything. Which is what happens every time I play this game. I get like a couple good runs, or maybe just one, and then I find garbage. And then I've done this first floor, this first area, and found nothing. Literally 0 wands. But the other part of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, other than the gameplay, which I feel like is very solid and very enjoyable on its own, is it has the Banjo-Kazooie charm. It has the super cheeky, lowbrow dialogue that I guess was one of the major draws of Banjo-Kazooie. That a lot of people really liked was the dialogue, the banter between the characters. And that game has it in spades. There's so much extremely cheeky dialogue in that game. And it exudes so much charm because of it. Like, you start the game as Fat Banjo and Fat Kazooie because they've been sitting on their asses doing nothing and got really lazy. And you actually experience that in gameplay because it's like, here, go on a quest, go pick up this crap, and then you're like this fat Banjo that's like struggling to move, and you have to like stop every couple of feet because he's so fat and overweight that he gets out of breath easily. And it's like, wow, is this what the game is going to be like? Because this is going to suck. And, you know, then the game takes you out of satire and places you in an actual video game and like makes Banjo and Kazooie fit again so that you can obviously run at full video game character speed. And that's just an example. Like that's the first thing that happens in the video game is that you see them overweight and you see the results of them being overweight and you have a little laugh at how ha 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 you're a big fat dope, and it's charming. Maybe some people didn't really enjoy that and it turned them off to the game. But those are the same people that should have really fucking loved that shit because that was what Banjo-Kazooie on the N64 had, as far as I am aware. That's the thing, I guess, that maybe makes it so that it was a lot easier for me to accept it, was that I never played Banjo-Kazooie. And maybe that's why I like it so much, is that I never played those other games. So I didn't have any preconceived notions going in. And I think that might be why a lot of people didn't give Nuts and Bolts a chance, is that they had those preconceived notions that the game was going to be super shitty because it didn't have their precious collectible shit. I will tell you right now, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts absolutely features collectible stuff. Definitely. Like, if there are people that were like, Mario 64 sucked because it was very limited and focused and had one objective at most per level, and they wanted more variety, like Banjo-Kazooie had, Nuts and Bolts absolutely has that. Definitely. Because you've got the little Jinjo guys to save, you've got the boxes of parts for your carts and flying contraptions to find, you have the Jiggies open up your new areas that you can go to new levels and stuff. I think there's like stuff that increases Banjo's ability to carry stuff, if I remember right. Like his range of pickup or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there's something like that in there. Trying to think what else there is. Maybe there isn't quite as much as Banjo-Kazooie, but there's definitely a lot to do per level, and the challenges are very there are a lot of variety in them, and a lot of it actually has a lot of support for really outside of the box thinking. Some of the challenges can be completed in extremely unexpected ways that feel extremely rewarding when you do it. One example is there's a level where there's a thing where you're supposed to pick up a bunch of coconuts, and your task is to build a thing that can pick the coconuts up. So conventional logic would have you building a motorized carrying device, like a thing that's got like storage for the coconuts, and then you build a thing that sucks them up so that you can put them inside the cart, right? But if you're really fucking cool and savvy and are trying to think outside the box, you'll be like, okay, so there's this thing that spews coconuts, right? What happens if I just grab that and carry that bitch to the end? Well, if you're enterprising and you do it right, you can actually pick up the thing that spews the coconuts and carry that to the end. And it will get you the big kahuna prize. Because you get all the coconuts that way. Because the challenge has like a reward based on how much you bring back. You get like your gold, your silver, your bronze, right? So if you bring back the whole batch of coconuts before the time runs out, you get the big prize. So there's a lot of that in the game. Where if you do it in a really strange and unexpected way, you might be rewarded with a better result, which usually ends up being more pieces to build cooler shit. So it's actually really beneficial to do good on the challenges because you end up getting rewarded with more pieces to make better, crazier contraptions that do more wild and zany stuff. Like, I will potentially spoil a little bit of the game in that one of the best items in the game is a grabby item that launches out of your vehicle and sticks to stuff, which is called the sticky ball, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what the game calls it, is the sticky ball. That thing is the best item in the game. And actually is the reason why I found out about that whole grabbing the coconut spewer and taking it to the end to get the big prize. Because I used the grabby ball to pick that up and I was like, holy shit, you can grab this. Because I figured it was, conventional video game logic and programming. They're going to have it locked down to the ground so you can't pick it up, right? Wrong. And maybe that's not as... Maybe I'm making that sound a lot more exciting than it really is, but... It was one of those games where I enjoyed the shit out of the demo. And then I bought the full game, and it wonderfully, very much lived up to my expectations. A lot like Uncharted 2. I played Uncharted 2 as a demo, loved it. Red Faction Guerrilla, played as a demo, loved it. There's a lot of games like that I played the demo and I was just like really impressed. Dark Souls 2 even. I had my friend Danny had it and he showed it to me and I was like, dude, this game actually looks pretty fucking cool. Despite the fact that I had heard that it was extremely hard and was very intimidated by that. And I kind of didn't want to play it because of the fact that it was supposed to be really hard. But I saw the combat and how it played and really kind of dug that. It was difficult and challenging, but seemed engaging and it seemed to reward skill. And it does very much reward skill. If you are a really good hack and slasher, you will love Dark Souls. It's hard, but it's fair. In most cases. They really know how to make a balanced game. For something that is extremely difficult, it is also very surprisingly fair. You will very rarely in Dark Souls feel like you were cheated and shat upon by the game. And I know that's kind of bullcrap coming from a game that puts mimics in there specifically to fuck you up and trap you and make a bunch of really grueling, punishing gameplay elements that seem designed to frustrate you. The devs are exceedingly cruel with their design as far as level design and enemy placement. But the actual gameplay itself is very surprisingly fair. Like, even in a boss fight, you have plenty of opportunities to recover and get in hits. As much as it seems like it's the most intimidating and difficult game in the world, even a really, really novice, like a grandma, like the grandma that plays Skyrim, I bet she could easily beat Dark Souls. Probably, and I say that because she probably has the grit and determination to not give up when she gets beat down by the boss. She's been through a lot. She knows difficulty and adversity, having lived through probably much shittier stuff. So, yeah, Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts has good gameplay, good charm, good level design, I think, too. I will say the later levels kind of suck in that game because they're really vertical and they kind of have more of an emphasis on helicopter stuff, which is kind of the weakest part of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, I think. Flight is kind of their weakest aspect, which is weird to say because they have rocket boosters, and those are extremely fun to use. So, honestly, flying airplane style creations and jet-powered flight stuff is extremely fun. But only in an open environment that facilitates it. When you're in a super close quarters, very narrow vertical shaft environment, a plane kind of sucks. Which is why you want to use more of a helicopter where you can have precise motion from side to side in addition to up and down. Because an airplane is really only designed to kind of go forward and have extremely limited up and down mobility. You get up in the air, yes, but once you're there, you kind of tend to go side to side, back and forth, not really so much up and down. So yeah, some of those later levels I can't quite praise entirely because it's like some of that level design kind of sucks ass a little bit. And some of the cheekiness of the dialogue does get kind of tired after a while. You start to be like, yeah, okay, whatever, shut up. Let's just get on with the game, please. Like the Log guy, there's the robot man called Log. His dialogue is like super dry and like not very funny at all. So I guess maybe that was one of the other reasons that people hated the game, was that instead of having great, funny, witty humor for every character, they have one of the main characters have extremely boring and dry dialogue, which I don't know if that was the case in any of the Banjo-Kazooie games, because the main antagonist, Gruntilda, rhymes in her dialogue. Everything she says is a rhyme, which I guess is supposed to be charming, and it is a little bit, it is a little endearing, as well as the Banjo and Kazooie have some very cheeky stuff that they say. But yeah, the log guy, the computer guy that's in Nuts and Bolts, definitely really dry and boring. And he's like half the game, so I guess maybe it's not quite as charming and endearing as I make it out to be. But I still think it's a great game, and I'm still gonna stream it fully when I get a chance. I just gotta get a capture card to do it, because I don't have one, and I need a capture card to do it, because as far as I'm aware, they haven't fully completed Xbox 360 emulation yet, that I know of. Perhaps it is a thing, and I hope it is a thing, because I really want to play that game, and if I could do it on PC, would be preferable. Because then I wouldn't have to buy a capture card. But yeah, I'll probably get a capture card, because there's stuff on the Switch that I wouldn't mind streaming too. So it would just be a good thing to have, since I'm doing this where I post stuff on YouTube. It'd be nice to be able to capture from game systems. I would love to do a Metroid Fusion stream, since that's one of my favorite games ever. Oops. I'd love to do commentary on it while I play, because it's, in my opinion, one of the greatest games ever, even though I'm sure that opinion is not held by everyone. So I would love to stream it, even though I'm sure it has been streamed by 1,000 billion people already, and probably would be super boring for most people, because they've probably played it a dozen times, they've seen it played a dozen times, and they're just probably tired of it. It's like Final Fantasy VII. How many fucking people have streamed that? But it is a game I'm really passionate about, because it is one of my favorite games of all time, and I would love to stream it sometime. I think I did a stream of Ocarina of Time, which is one of my other favorites. I think I did it with the emulator, so I could do cheats and stuff. I kind of don't remember, because I don't think I even have it on my channel. Like, I think I streamed it on Twitch, and then it just never got saved, because Twitch doesn't save any VODs older than like a week if you're new. So since I was new, none of my shit ever got saved until I started putting it on YouTube, which I got really tired of, because I had to do that for everything, and it got old. Which is funny, because now I do it because I have to anyway. So honestly, I could stream to Twitch, but actually I couldn't now, because I can't stream at all, is the problem. It's not that I can't stream on YouTube specifically, it's that I can't stream, period. So if I could stream right now, I would be doing it on YouTube, because then instead of having to also then upload the video to YouTube, it's already there. Like, that's the reason I switched to YouTube as my source of streaming and where my videos get hosted, because That's the only place where they get to stay. If I was doing it on Twitch, my videos would get deleted unless I put them on YouTube. So I stream on YouTube so that the videos just get to stay on YouTube. They're already uploaded by the fact that they're already on YouTube. I don't have to then go to another platform and upload them because YouTube just natively keeps them in place. Fuck. But, yeah, I switched to YouTube because it was easier for me. It was more convenient. Since I hated the fact that Twitch deleted my VODs. Because I like to watch VODs. I'm a weirdo. In that I don't show up for the live events because I like to be able to pause, rewind, start and stop whenever I want. It's just how I like to watch the video. I mean, can anyone say that they're able to do a 2-hour video from start to finish with 0 interruptions? Gosh. So I watch VODs because that's the most convenient thing for me, and therefore decided to make VODs available to people like me who enjoy watching content at their own pace without having to watch it all at once or risk missing out on it. Because that's the thing that sucks, is when you're watching a live stream and then you have to go do something, so you miss out on part of the stream and you don't get to see it till it's a VOD later, and then you have to watch just that part because you missed the part that was, like, it just seems inconvenient to have to go back and watch part of a stream that you are already watching. So I just do the VOD so that I get it all, and I can start and stop at a certain, and like YouTube keeps track of where I was, so I don't have to remember, okay, I stopped here, I need to start here again. Like if I was watching a VOD, or if I was watching a stream and then had to go watch the VOD because I missed a part of the stream, I'd have to know what part of the VOD to look for. I'd have to, like, and for those who don't know what I'm talking about, VOD is video on demand, which is the recording of something hosted on, like, YouTube for you to watch freely at any time. Unlike the live stream, which is in the moment, actually happening right now, and can't be paused or rewound. I don't know, my choices are about as rational as picking my favorite color crayon. So, it's really neither here nor there. The reasons why I like to watch a VOD versus the live event, because I could just as easily carry on a live event with the VOD as I would watching a VOD and then stopping and starting it. But yeah, I just like the VODs, and I switched to YouTube because I'm a VOD guy, and I didn't like that Twitch was deleting my VODs. But they're, you know, they're within their rights to do so. It's their website. They can do what they want for videos that aren't making them any money. they felt the need to get rid of them because, you know, no one's watching them. Why keep it? I obviously take issue with that a little bit because I, again, want my stuff preserved. So if I feel like going back and being like, hey, I want to check out that video I made forever ago about this or that, I can't do that with Twitch. I can't reminisce. Not that I do a whole lot of reminiscing on YouTube. Obviously. I don't do like any reminiscing on YouTube. So my keeping VODs of shit forever ago is kind of useless. I will admit that. But it is nice to have. It's one of those things that's like a car where you get the leather seats because you don't need them. You don't really even want them. They're just kind of nice to have. They just kind of add to the overall package. And it's just one of those things. It's like Twitch has all of your broadcasting needs. But YouTube's got permanent VODs that last forever. And I like that. So, YouTube it was. Wasn't very difficult of a decision, in my opinion. But, yeah, definitely, I got a lot of sidetracked from my telling you guys of what I was planning to do, but, World of Final Fantasy will continue at some point. I'm really having some mixed feelings about doing more Hitman 2. I want to do more Hitman 2, but I kind of feel like we're done with it. I kind of feel like I should move on from it. Because I've done so much Hitman 2 already. I played through the story. I did a lot of extra shit. I kind of feel like we're getting to a point where I should just do something else. Where further Hitman 2 is not really necessary. Because we did the main game, we did a lot of really fun extra stuff, and there's not, I mean, there is a whole, I feel bad because there's this whole other virus campaign thing, and that actually might be pretty topical with what's going on with COVID, but, I don't know. I feel like I need to move on from Hitman 2. I feel like Hitman 2 was my scapegoat because it was like, oh, I don't want to do World of Final Fantasy, but I should do something else that I need to progress in, so we'll do Hitman 2 instead. And now I feel like I shouldn't be using it as another scapegoat. To get out of playing World of Final Fantasy, I need to do World of Final Fantasy for real and like make the actual progress in it that I should be making. Instead of goofing off. Also, I'm trying to think of other games that would be fun to stream, because there is other shit that I could stream. I've thought about the idea of streaming some Terraria, maybe. Even though that's another one of those things that, like, everybody and their brother made streams of when the 1.4 update came out. Is one of the reasons why I didn't do any videos on that, because everybody is doing that, and everybody is like, oh, pylons, everybody is like Terra Prisma, everybody is doing the new stuff, and everybody's already played a ton of Terraria, and they know what everything is and where everything is, and there's not a lot of people playing it for the first time. So me adding to the pile did not seem productive. So I didn't do it. That's a reason I'm not doing it. It's because I don't feel like... I try to do content that I feel like there isn't a lot of already. I try to be a little bit outside the box with my content. Also, I like to go a little bit out of my comfort zone, a little, because if I just play the games I love all the time, you're not gonna get any, like, genuine surprise, if that makes any sense. You're not gonna get any, like, I kind of really love it when somebody like Vinny plays a game he's never played, and you get to see his experience for the first time, and like get to see what he thinks and feel new. Like, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's like that first time of playing a thing is so captivating. It's very entertaining to watch, compared to somebody that's like, oh yeah, I know exactly where everything is, I know exactly what to do. It's just like, it's almost boring to watch somebody play a game that they've played 1,000 times. And that's one of the reasons why I'm a little afraid to do some of those streams. Like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, I've actually played through like probably at least 4 or 5 times, maybe 3. So I know where everything is, and I know where all the good parts are, and I know basically what contraptions to make for what puzzles. So I am a little afraid that it's going to be kind of boring, since I know what I'm doing already. But I actually haven't played it in probably at least 2 years. Maybe a little longer. I legitimately do not remember the last time I did play it. But I do remember everything in it, and I do remember where the good parts are. I remember what car to start with that is good for getting around and doing the challenges. I've got that expert knowledge. And I'm a little concerned that might make the stream a tad boring. Maybe irrationally so. But I am going to stream that game anyway, because I fucking love that game, and I want everyone to see how good of a game it actually is. Because nobody gave it a chance. Nobody played it because they thought it was trash. And I take offense to that, because it was such a fucking great game. And I want people to see how good of a game they're missing out on. Because a lot of people are just very dismissive of it. It didn't obviously find the critical success that they wanted to have. And it was a... Whoa, what the fuck is that? Ah, part of me really wants that, just to see what it does. But I also really want this, because I want that. New spell versus good spell. Let's see, how does this compare? Ooh, favorably. Relatively favorably. Yeah, as much as I really want to see what this new spell does, I'm going to pass on it for now. Sadly. Need to get these out. I don't really need them actually, but stop doing that. Empty one, okay. So we put these in here, which I only had 3 areas for, but oh well. So then we take this guy here, and voila! Extra eat. That was the plan, and it works great. Oh man. Oh man. Oh my gosh. So oh God, run. How is it unlimited? I disagree. Yeah, see, it's not going. Ow. Yeah, that's not unlimited. I'm a little displeased at this. Oh shit! Forgot about the missiles. Uh-oh. Oh God. Damn missiles, I gotta go a different way. Oops. Yeah, I don't understand how that's unlimited spells. Like, that's not true at all, in fact. Maybe it's unlimited bombs, I guess. Because I don't have a number on my bombs now. And that is the bomb wand, right? Yeah. So, I have unlimited bombs. But I do not have unlimited black hole. Oh gosh. Freezing shit. Oh god. There's this chance to blow a bigger hole in thing. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other games that would be entertaining for me to stream that y'all could enjoy. A lot of what I've been playing lately is stuff that I have played forever, that everyone in the world has played a lot, and it's just like a bunch of samey shit that is not that entertaining to stream. That would not really be that entertaining to anyone else. So it's hard to find good streamable content. Oh, shit. He's cast what? Ow. Something is poisoning me here. Unpoison, please. This fucking lightning is super goddamn dangerous. I have killed myself that way before. Very easily. Through hole. Live. Number one thing about this game is live. Always live. Oh my god. Yes. Question. Shit. Really? Mana max 220. Man, okay, shit. Well, never mind. Ow. Take that, bastard. Haha. Take more health, thank you. Excellent. Oh god! Stay away! Ugh. Oh, that health. It goes away so fast. Oh god, run. Oh my god, I am less than half health already. Fuck, I am so dead. Holy shit, son. Must flee. I'm killing myself. Fuck. Flee. Oh god. Please everything die. Oh my god, I am at 1 health. Fuck. That's great that my potential health is higher, but I need my actual health to be higher. The game is lagging so bad. This lightning thing is so good. It is incredibly powerful, but yet also extremely dangerous. I like how I didn't get my second chance there. I guess I already used it at some point. I don't know. Alright, I think that's gonna be it for me. I get one good run, and then I don't want to do the first level area again. I don't like going back and having to do the shitty area where you get like, oh hey, a better shoot wand that does slightly more damage. So, I guess that's it for this recording. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy it when it is up as a VOD on YouTube. I'm going to take a moment here just to look through what I got installed, just to see if there's anything here I can tell you. I wanted to do VR. I really, like, I suggested to Vinny, since he does a lot of VR stuff now, to play Payday 2, because Payday 2 is fucking awesome in VR. But he didn't do it. I guess he just ignored me and doesn't care or whatever, but Payday 2 is awesome in VR. It's the entire Payday 2, but VR. Like, I say that like it's amazing, and a lot of people might be like, oh, so what? It's Payday 2, but you're, like, looking around. But you can actually hold the guns in your hand. You can dual wield and point in different directions. You're actually picking up the loot bag and throwing it. Like, it's just... To me, that shit was mind-blowing and still is. I'd love to stream that, but I can't because my computer, even recording it, can't handle it. So, unfortunately, there won't be any of that until I get a better computer, which will probably not be until I get a capture card in the distant future. Because, you know, I have no money since I'm buying a house. But, yeah, I thought about Payday 2 and some VR stuff, but I can't do it. I wanted to do Gungeon, but I'm not far enough in it, and don't think I ever will be on PC, because I suck. I thought about doing some Halo stuff, but I'm not super great at Halo, so I don't know how entertaining that would be. Unless you want to watch me suck and laugh at how bad I am. I thought about, again, today an ARC stream of the new Crystal Isles map. I might actually do that one. But, I don't know. I'm torn on it. So, anywho, I will figure out what to stream or record, and you guys will get to see it. So, thank you for watching, if you watched up to this point. If not, I don't really mind. I don't care if you like or subscribe, because I don't, ever. I like and subscribe when I feel it is appropriate to do so. And I urge you to do the same. If you actually like something, like it. If you actually want to subscribe to somebody, do it. If you don't, then don't have any shame. Don't feel obligated. They are not going to lose food and die if you don't subscribe or like. Especially me. I'm a hobbyist. I do this shit for fun. I make no money off of it whatsoever. So, if you don't subscribe or don't like, I don't care. Do what you want to do. Thank you for watching, and you have a good one.